You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right. Not officially in the books yet, but basically over. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Dodgers put one on the D-backs, returning the favor from yesterday. Even the umpire is ready to go home. That strike 3 on Shohei Ohtani was a good 6 inches outside of the strike zone. He's like, enough is enough already. Let's get the heck out of here. This series is in the refrigerator. The butter is hardening. The eggs are chilling. The jello is jiggling. Dodgers take 3 out of 4. How about that, baby? I'm feeling good about this one. The fact that I missed yesterday's game to watch the Trojans win was awesome. This has been a fantastic Labor Day weekend. The Dodgers taking 3 of 4 from the Diamondbacks, and Trojans a huge win yesterday. So all is well. Welcome to the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. I am Pete Fox, the host of the postcast. We come on right after the game and break it down for you. I've worked in LA sports covering the Dodgers, the Chargers, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Kings, the Ducks, the Angels, the Dodgers, the Trojans, the Bruins, you name it. I've covered in LA dating back to 2007. Also worked for NBC Sports Radio and ESPN LA. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of the NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Are we final yet? No, we're still not final yet. What's going on here? I don't have the play-by-play on. I'm just watching the ticker. 2 outs. Nobody's on base. 2 strikes. Just like yesterday in the box score for the Trojans game, it had no defensive stats, and I was all confused trying to share the defensive stats of the game. And I'm like, do they not put up defensive stats in college football? There was just nothing. And then for a minute, there was no offensive stats either. I was like, what the hell's going on with the ESPN box scores here? They're just shorting me all the stats. And then I went back and looked today, and yeah, it's the exact same thing. The stat sheet looks the same for college as it does for pros. Just for whatever reason, they weren't keeping up. And this would appear to be the same thing. Maybe it's my internet not keeping up, because it's still showing Shohei Ohtani at bat and Grichuk. Oh, here we go. It updated now. 2 outs still, 2 strikes. Honeywell pitching to Grichuk, runner on third. Still 11-4 Dodgers. So 25 more games to go in the season. When this one is officially in the books, the Dodgers will be 83-55. So much to feel good about in this game. Just everything went right. I thought the hitting was locked in, of course. 17 hits. This series has been filled with lots of hitting. Yesterday, a bit of an off day for the Dodgers, but got right back on track today, which is nice to see. Flaherty was locked in, 7 Ks. The fastball was pinpoint, and consequently, every time he needed to strike somebody out, he threw the fastball, down and in, down and away, up and in. He was pinpoint accurate on wherever he needed the fastball to go. The first K was a 4-seamer, then another 4-seamer, breaking ball for the third strikeout, fastball, and then a curve. So he'd get 2 or 3 on the fastball and then throw in something else to mix it up a little bit. And it was working. He ran out of gas, made it through 5 2/3. So the Diamondbacks have 2 on now with 2 outs. I'm sorry. I don't look, I'm not jinxing this. I know you're probably yelling, screaming at the computer. What are you doing? The game's not over yet. How dare you come on too early? But some people have asked for that. And I've been told, hey, if the game's out of reach, Of course, with the Diamondbacks, it's never really out of reach, but I feel like this one's kind of, again, in the refrigerator, as the great Chick Kern used to say. Flaherty, 5 2/3. This is official. Gave up 1 run on 5 hits, 3 walks. I guess that would be the one sore thumb in his performance today. 7 Ks on 96 pitches. But yeah, the action was good. The velocity was there. Everything he did today, really nice. Really good stuff from him. Vesia, 1/3 of an inning to finish up for Flaherty. I would have liked to see Vesia come back for the full inning, but they did not allow that to happen. He had 1 strikeout on 4 pitches. Brazier, 1/3 of an inning. He gave up, he was charged with 2 runs. Bonda gave them up in the 2/3 of an inning, but they're saying, no runs on 2 hits because they were charged to Brazier. But I like the way Bonda battled there. Again, he battled a couple nights ago, and that was nice to see. He got himself into a jam. That was the first game of the series when the Dodgers squeaked it out 10-9. Bonda was in there giving up hits and home runs and frustrating me because they didn't have the so-called closer, Michael Kopech, in there. Although Joe mentioned on Saturday that Evan Phillips is the closer, and then he quickly corrected himself and said, well, one of the closers. So I guess there is some debate as to who the Dodgers closer really is. For me, it should be Kopech. And for the 8th inning, it should be Evan Phillips. But they seem to continue to mix it up based on matchups. There's nothing I can do about that except be frustrated. Great day for Shohei Ohtani. Great day for Teoscar Hernandez. Great day for Freddie Freeman. 2 home runs for Freddie. Teo, 5 for 5, a homer shy of the cycle. Will Smith, a pair of hits. Mookie Betts, 2 hits, 3 RBI, and 3 runs scored. So just the offense rolling aplenty. There's so much to feel confident and good about. I wish they would get this final out so I could stop feeling a tad bit anxious here as we're almost through with the first segment. What does Nando have to say? Pete would have been impressed if Ohtani got 3 steals, but 2 steals won't impress him. He did get 3 steals. Just for the record, Nando. 3 steals today for Ohtani. Yes, I am impressed with Shohei Ohtani. I said it a couple days ago. I don't think getting to the 50 stolen bases is going to be a problem. He never even seems to draw a throw when he steals. And when he does draw a throw, he's safe by half a body length. It's very rarely even close. The stolen base aspect of this 50-50 chase, I think, is going to be easy. He'll get that in the next 2 or 3 games. And when he's reeling off 3 like he did today. So now it's 11-6. So the Dodgers have a 5-run advantage at this point. Who gave that up? Who's in the game right now pitching, by the way? I didn't even look. Oh, Brett Honeywell. It's just frustrating. It really is frustrating. I know you probably don't need to run your closer out there when you've got, what was the score just a minute ago? It was 11-4. Then they just scored 2 to make it 11-6. Yeah, I'm thinking you don't need to run your closer out there, BC, but this is a meaningful game. This is a meaningful series. Lock it down. Get out of there. Get on a happy plane back to Anaheim to face the Angels tomorrow. Stop farting around with Brett Honeywell. I mean, I like Honeywell. He's okay. But, let's close the door. Now we got to run around second. It's kind of ridiculous. It's dancing, tiptoeing around. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. They're just bailing water out of the boat with a bucket. And the bucket's not very big. Just keep bailing the water. Well, we're fine. I know there's water coming in, but just keep bailing. Oh, this is frustrating. I close it down. Get the 3rd out. Let's go. The Diamondbacks are not the Dodgers with 2 outs, 2 out hits. The Dodgers today, 9 9 total 2-out base runners, 7 consecutive 2-out base runners in the 9th inning. That was huge. This ability to rally with 2 outs, and a lot of them with 2 strikes. It's awesome. It's awesome. Now I wish we could just get 3 outs. Finally, it's over. Okay. Ball game. Thank you, Daniel Barry. Way to sum it up for me. Ball game. Game over. Cash money. 11-6. 3 of 4 in Arizona. Suck on that. Yeehaw. Been saying it for a while. Wait till the Diamondbacks face some real opponents like the Dodgers. They're going to struggle. A lot of offense, but let's look back over what the Diamondbacks have done prior to the Dodgers. Mets, Red Sox, Marlins, Rays, Rockies. They haven't faced a real team since they played the Phillies back in August 11th. So 3.5 weeks ago was the last time they played a good team. 3 against the Rockies. They won all 3. They got swept by the Rays. Really? Wow. That's a crazy one. Then they beat the Marlins 3 straight. They beat the Red Sox 3 straight. They lost 2 of 3 to the Mets. And then the Dodgers took 3 of 4. So they're definitely in a funk right now, but still playing great baseball. Dodgers just playing better baseball. So lots to feel good about here. We'll get into this. Well, I don't want to talk negative right now. Let's save the negativity for the end of the show. We'll get into Shohei's day, both at the plate and on the base pass, continuing to just make it look easy out there. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince doing the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast. I'm assuming they'll be doing their thing here in just a little bit, which will be ready for you later tonight and on into tomorrow morning on the Locked On Podcast Network. We appreciate you making us your source for your team every day. All right, today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel. It is, of course, America's #1 sports book. Well, we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of the NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. And if you've never had the NFL Sunday Ticket and even want to try it out and see how much you love it, it is addicting as hell. So I would definitely highly recommend checking out FanDuel and the YouTube TV and the YouTube TV NFL Sunday Ticket. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. Then with YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every game, every regular season game, Sunday afternoon, all the out-of-market games. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. So here's the details. If you need more information, visit FanDuel.com. Download America's #1 sportsbook today. All right, Dodgers take 3 of 4 in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. 11-6 the final today. A nice way to answer back after a low-scoring football game yesterday there in Arizona where it was 14-3. But Shohei, stolen base number 44, and then in the same trip around the base paths, he had 2 more. He stole second and stole third. So he now has 46, just 4 shy of 50. I think he gets well beyond 50, as a matter of fact, with 25 more games. Actually, after today, 24 more games to go. I mean, 24, even if he steals 1 every 3rd game, that's 7 more, roughly. 8 more. 8 times 3 is 24. Yes, I'm very good at math. Back up. So, like, that's kind of where I'm looking at. 46, 8 more puts him at 54. Now, the home run thing going to be a little bit harder. 44 home runs now. I think he gets to 50. Maybe no, maybe not. And if he does, that'll be the biggest season for a Dodger hitter in regards to home runs. So let's hope he gets there. That would be fantastic. Again, all you guys that think I'm not impressed, I'm very, very impressed, especially of late. He's just been on fire. And the technique, just from a mechanics standpoint, has looked really good. I haven't seen him have one of those ridiculously bad strikeouts in a while. And if he has, it's in a game where he had a home run and a double and, did a ton of stuff in the earlier part of the game and, probably was tired by the end of the game. And I get it, it's like, yeah, enough already. I'm just going to go up here and just flail it, whatever. I've already done my share. Mr. Seabad is okay with Dave Roberts managing through this series. He did have a different intensity level today. You had to understand that he knew this was an important game. Now, I missed the details of this stat that Joe and Oral were throwing out in regards to the standings. They said if the Dodgers lose this game, they will be 3 ahead of the Diamondbacks, and if they win the game, they will be 7 ahead of the Diamondbacks. And I went to the standings. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Because as it stands right now in the standings department, the Dodgers are 6 ahead of the Diamondbacks, so a loss would have made them 4 ahead, which is where they were coming into the series. I heard something about the tiebreaker. Is that what it is? So they get an extra game for the tiebreaker. Okay. Thanks, Dan. I didn't catch it all. I was kind of wandering in and at the last minute and heard part of that. And when you watch on Spectrum, you can't rewind. So I'm like, damn it. Didn't catch that whole thing. So the tiebreaker, the Dodgers win the season series 7-6. All right. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you clarifying that for me. So a huge game, absolutely huge game for the Dodgers. And they did everything right today. Offense, defense. Flaherty pitched well, 7 Ks. Flaherty, the stat they threw out earlier in the game, when he gets strike one against the opponents, their OPS is 300 points lower. Let's see how he did, because that's a huge difference. And look, let's be fair and honest about this. Most pitchers pitch better when they get strike one. But Flaherty, evidently, that is a very, very large discrepancy when it comes to his OPS opposed. 13 of 23 first strikes. That's a decent amount. So it could have been better. It wasn't like it was 17 of 23 or 20 of 23. That would have been more dominant. 13 of 23 is pretty good. So all in all, I think a very good performance from him. The defense was great. That double play that Chris Taylor started where he's basically behind the first baseman in the first inning was a huge double play and just sweet. I mean, it was well-oiled machine type of stuff. Edman came into this game. Last 4 games, he is 7 of his last 15. I believe today he had just 1 hit, 1 for 5 with an RBI and 1 strikeout. So he continues to be pretty hot. Miggy drag bunting in the 4th. That was really nice to see to lead off the inning. Small ball. I'm a big fan. I know it's kind of old school, but when you have guys like Shohei and Freddie and Mookie hitting long balls or doubles down the line with regularity, someone like Miggy Rojas come up and drag bunt because he's just a technically sound baseball player is awesome. I mean, to be that diversified, that dynamic as a team. Yeah, we got people who can get on with base hit bunts and we can get on with the long ball. Shohei today did not hit a home run, but 2 for 4. We'll get to the Diamond Dogs list here in just about a minute because of course it's filled with Shohei and actually no. I stand corrected. Shohei did not make the Diamond Dogs list tonight. 2 hits, 2 runs, no RBI. I guess I only put guys with RBI. When you got 17 hits and 11 runs, then it's generally all about who knocked in the runs. So let's get to that here in just a minute or two. I wanted to put up a Rumar's comment here, or Rumor. I'm assuming it's Rumar. Great series versus the Diamondbacks. 3 of 4 won the series. Take the season series 7-6. 5 straight wins. 2 homers for Freddie. 5 RBIs. Teoscar 5 for 5. 7 strikeouts for Jack Flaherty and Mookie Betts. 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Just hitting the high points. And it never gets tired in a game like this. It never gets old. You don't feel sick of hearing those numbers. I've thrown them out. Ramar wanted to throw them out. That's all good. It just, it's like congratulations on your birthday. You never get sick of hearing happy birthday on your birthday. Let's do the Diamond Dogs list. For number 5, Chris Taylor, a leadoff double in the third, 4 for his last 7 at that point. So he's been hot coming off the IL. For number 4, Mookie Betts, first pitch single in the third to score Chris Taylor. That made it 1-0. For number 3, Freddie hit home run number 20, 354 feet, opposite field shot on a breaking ball that he was all over. It was almost like he was sitting on that pitch, his third of the series at that point. For number 2, third inning triple to center field to go with a double and a single at that point for Teoscar. Had a couple more singles after that to finish the game, 5 for 5, including a little dribbler late in the game. For number 1, Will Smith, 2 RBI single in the 7th. That made it 6-1. So technically not the game winner, because that would have just tied the score at 6 because the Diamondbacks rallied a little bit late. That, of course, was also a 2-out, 2-strike single. For 1A, Mookie Betts, the 2-out RBI double in the 8th. For 1B, an 11-pitch at bat for Freddie Freeman's second homer of the game. It gives him 21 on the season. And again, the Dodgers 7 consecutive 2-out runners there in the 8th. That was the 8th, not the 9th. And they had 9 total 2-out runners in the game. So just as clutch as you could ask for at this point in time of the season. So got it rolling, 5 in a row, and 6 clear of the Diamondbacks and the Padres. Actually 5.5 in front of San Diego, who are playing right now down in San Diego. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. Place to hang out when every game is done. Will Smith continuing to rack up numbers, throwing out runners at second base. I will tell you where that stands in Major League Baseball after he nailed another one today. Don't forget, you can also listen to us wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. You make Jeff and Vince your first listen, then I am your second listen. Right after the game, we break it down for you, and we appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by FanDuel and Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Don't forget, it's not just sports, music, theater, comedy. Anywhere you need a ticket to get in, you should check out Game Time because they have great deals. And Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They also have this thing, if you wait to up to about an hour prior to the game or the show or the concert or whatever, you could save up to 60%. And they also give you great features like views from your seat. This is awesome when it comes to trying to find a good deal. And sometimes one section over can save you a lot of money and not be nearly as bad as you might think. Like, why are these tickets so much cheaper over here? And if you're one section over, it doesn't always affect your view. So sometimes you can save money and basically be in the same seats, like one section over. It's like Hermosa Beach versus Manhattan Beach, right? One street over, the prices of the houses go way up. Same thing happens in stadiums. One section over can be way more. One section over the other way can save you a lot of money. So this view from the seat thing on Game Time is one of my favorite aspects. My favorite tools on the Game Time app. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Well, it's game time. All right, Dodgers, an 11-6 win today. Taking 3 of 4 from the D-backs in the desert to remain 6 in front of the Dirty Snakes. They also win the season series 7-6. Jack Flaherty gets the win, going 5 2/3, striking out 7. He is now 11-6. Rodriguez suffers the loss. He went 4, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, only struck out 1 Dodger. They did a really good job today of not striking out. They had a grand total of 5 on the day, which is really, really nice to see. Chris Taylor, a double, his 6th of the season. Teoscar, his 29th of the season. Teoscar, his 2nd triple. It would have been nice for him to get that cycle. Dodgers, well, they've had 2, I think, 2 or 3. I was witness to one of them, and I always forget the guy's name, but it was not Cody Bellinger who had the last one. So it would have been cool to see that, but it wasn't to be. But a 5 for 5 day is still pretty nice. And Freddie with 2 home runs, number 20 and 21. 20 came in the 3rd inning, and then again in the 8th inning. The throwing out runners at second base has been a calling card for Will Smith this season. He threw out his 29th runner at second base. That leads Major League Baseball. So we have the best catcher in Major League Baseball when it comes to throwing out guys at second base. Another part of this win that was awesome to see, batting around in the 8th inning. Miggy Rojas batted twice in the 8th inning. That was nice to see. And the Dodgers on base today, 15 of 20, the most in 3 years for the first 4 hitters. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They were on base 15 of 20 times. That's huge. Everything went very, very smooth, very, very comfortable, very, very dominant. Even though the Diamondbacks rallied a little bit, the Dodgers answered. That's another aspect of this game that we have to feel very, very confident about. They never got down. They never felt like they would score and then the Diamondbacks would answer and then they would, kind of go to sleep for a little while. It didn't seem to happen. The Dodgers scored 3. It was kind of the other way around, actually. The Dodgers scored 3. The Diamondbacks would answer with 1. Then in the 7th, the Dodgers scored 3. Diamondbacks answered with 2. In the 8th, Dodgers answered again, scoring 5. Diamondbacks came back with 1 and then 2 in the bottom of the 9th to make it 11-6. Again, 17 hits versus 12. Shohei had 2. Mookie had 2, including 3 RBI. Andy Pajes has been recalled. He got into the game defensively, but did not bat. Freddie Freeman, 2 hits, 2 home runs, 5 RBI on the day. Again, these numbers never get tired. We love hearing them. 5 for 5 for Teo. He did not have an RBI, though, which is kind of surprising. Will Smith, 2 for 5 with 2 RBI. His average up to 247. The OPS at about 760, just a couple ticks below 760. Edman, 1 for 5. And again, as I mentioned, he was 7 of 15 coming into this game during the last 4. So he's got it rolling. Miggy Rojas, the bunt single, 1 for 5. Kike was 0 for, the only starter to be 0 for in the game. And Chris Taylor, 2 for 5. 2 runs scored for him. And he's been red hot since he returned from the IL as well. So everything is going well. On a happy plane tonight, heading back to Anaheim to face the Halos for 2 starting tomorrow. And that's going to be fun. Let's hope the Dodgers don't, overlook them and go to sleep and lose the momentum that they have right now. Obviously, the Angels are going to get up for this game a little differently than they do for just about anyone else. It always seems to happen. They've won 2 in a row. They beat the Marlins on Saturday and yesterday. So they come in on a little bit of a roll. Tomorrow's first pitch is 6:38. Walker Buehler coming off his best outing of the season. Hopefully he can keep that rolling. He'll take on Reed Detmers, the left-hander. Again, first pitch at the Big A, 6:38. And then not to look forward too much, but the Dodgers will take on the Cubs coming up here after this Angels series. First, they got Cleveland at the Ravine, but Monday, a week from today, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 with the Cubs, who are red hot. They've won 9 of 10, and they've scored 99 runs in those 10 games. That is lighting the world on fire. So the Dodgers do not have an easy road ahead of them. Hopefully these 2 games against the Angels will be 2 games against the Angels. Let's be honest. And then we have Cleveland on Friday. Thursday is a day off, which is welcomed. An 11-6 win today as the Dodgers take 3 of 4 in the desert against the Dirty Snakes. Win number 83 on the season versus 55 losses, 38-31 on the road. Diamondbacks are 6 back now, 77-61. Thanks for joining me here. Thanks for the comments. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. We will talk again tomorrow after Dodgers Angels from the Big A. Have a good afternoon and evening. I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Take care.